now to talk about what's driving it. The CEO of J.M. Smucker, Mark Smucker himself. Mark, great to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Sarah.
What did Wall Street underestimate about your business during the quarter that they got so wrong on the estimates and is causing your stock to surge today?
Well, I think we really just spent our time this quarter focusing on serving our customers and our consumers. And, we anticipated that this pandemic was going to have really a slow return to normal. But with the second wave of, several states shutting down, we did see some increased business on and across most of our categories, notably coffee with our Folgers brand, Jif peanut butter, and our Uncrustables peanut butter and jelly sandwich continues to be on fire. So we just continue to focus on making sure that our supply can meet demand.
Is it directly tied, Mark, to the shape of the virus curve? And therefore, is it sustainable here as we've seen a pretty sustained decline in terms of case numbers in this country?
Yeah, we spoke on our call this morning about how about 2/3 of it roughly we can contribute to the pandemic, but the underlying growth of the business is strong. What's interesting as well is as consumers are staying at home, they are forming new habits. So if you look at coffee, 1.3 million new households we gained in coffee alone. Most of that is Folgers. Consumers not going to the drive-thru to get their coffee, really brewing coffee at home. And so our job right now is to make sure that we can get those habits to stick and use targeted marketing to make sure that we're doing that and keep consumers in our brands.
How do you do that? You're talking about marketing and advertising to, say, younger consumers for Folgers? Is that what's happening?
Well, actually, if you think about this 1.3 million households, folks are actually rediscovering brands that they may have lost touch with over the last several years. It isn't necessarily tied to age. It's really about those habits. And so what we're doing is primarily, it is advertising. We actually have new Folgers advertising launching this week that is very relevant to the current situation. And then we're using some new technology and data to specifically target and try to find those consumers that are new to the franchise, new to the Folgers brand, and push unique and targeted messaging out to them.
What about peanut butter and jelly, Mark? What are the trends there like, especially on peanut butter, where there was some concern, I know, from analysts going into the quarter about losing market share there?
Right. So let's face it, PB&J sandwiches, it's a comfort food. Both peanut butter and jelly are on fire. We've been selling all the peanut butter that we can make. Part of the reason that you saw a little bit of a downtick in our shares was that we, at the request of our customers, really focused on making only those SKUs which were core to the franchise. We are now back on shelf with a full assortment of Jif peanut butter. And even in the latest 4 weeks, we're seeing our share growth return. So it's just a comfort food that Americans want and need. And so we're serving that need.
Yeah, you sort of brought up manufacturing. We're looking at the lines. What have we learned, Mark? What have you learned about the food supply chain in this country during a pandemic that might help prepare us for the next time that happened? Or maybe it was a good story in that you and other food companies were able to keep the shelves stocked even amid the panic buying.
Yes, it was predominantly a very good story. I think what we learned is that the United States has the strongest and safest food supply chain that we know of. And our employees, it's key to protect them. We spent a lot of time and effort making sure that they were comfortable coming to work, that they could continue to do their jobs in a way that was safe for them, and really just ensuring that we can run our plants at the maximum capacity. And that's why we narrowed our SKUs for some period of time to make sure that we could produce enough products for the nation.